Mr. Nelson, do you wish to open at this time?
Yes, sir.
You may.
Mr. Chauvin used his knee to pin Mr. Floyd's left shoulder blade and back to the ground, and his right knee to pin Mr. Floyd's left arm to the ground.
I don't know if it was a deliberate attempt by Mr. Nelson just to cause some misdirection in the beginning of the trial, or if it was just he didn't want to come out and admit that Mr. Chauvin and concede that he had his knee on his neck. You know, the problem with that, though, sometimes it can be a misdirection. It can also cause you to lose credibility with the jury.
As the crowd grew in size, seemingly so too did their anger.
One of Mr. Nelson's themes here as well is that, you know, the officers maybe weren't able to attend to Mr. Floyd and maybe start giving him medical attention because they were concerned about this unruly crowd and they had to keep him at bay. And so, you know, you keep using those terms, you keep repeating them, you get the witnesses to keep using them. And maybe on a subtle note and on a subliminal note, the jurors start thinking that this was an unruly crowd.
In the course of being a paramedic, have you responded to other overdose calls or overdose calls?
You've got that kind of subliminal message being voiced on the jury through that question that this was potentially an overdose here that they were dealing with. So, you know, some of those questions they're probably pretty foxy by Mr. Nelson in terms of trying to, you know, get at some of those subliminal messages, some of those images, and just, you know, keep planning away at those things. And the more times he says them, you know, the more that might stick in the jurors' minds. From the defense perspective, you know, you've got to try and, you know, take what you can get. And, you know, sometimes we say in a trial, you want to throw as much mud on the wall as you can and hope some of it sticks.